like everything else on this freaking channel, or disasters. A boiler exploded.
Pendejo, pendejo, pendejo.
Well, not really exploded, it just decided to piss itself. So, this is going to be a quick video on what to do in case one of these decides to be incontinent. First thing, shut off the water, because if it's leaking, you want to make sure that no more water comes out. Second thing is drain it. Basically, it takes a, usually there's a screwdriver, you shove it in this little part here, unscrews, and you get just whatever hot water. Now, if your boiler is in a location where you can hook up a regular garden hose, I would do that, run it outside, and so on. But it was cold. I didn't really feel like having the door open and whatnot. So, a little short hose into a bucket and outside. Just be careful, the water is going to be freaking hot. Like,
would you please put your hands behind your back?
Now, things are getting kinky, you know?
Rabbit!
Really hot. And once it's done, just turn it off. Also, turn off the gas. You got the regulator right here for the burner. Some people say to go, to pilot, and the pilot, no, I say screw it, turn it completely off. Okay, you'll worry about lighting it on when it's time. Half the time you're not going to be able to do this because of insurance. They want a licensed contractor because it's not. And also I turn off the gas line from the valve, which you just got to follow the line from the regulator. Obviously this goes to the burner, so this must be your intake. Bam. So I turn that off. Same with this. Which one? I know there's usually a standard, blah, 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 but nobody's going to remember that. Some of them have a little red and little blue and red, so which is hot, which is cold. But if your boiler just leaked, just quickly touch. Okay, that one's going to be hot, and this one will be like cold. That's your intake. And obviously there's going to be a valve there. And that's pretty much it. More common sense, if the leak is from like areas here, that kind of stuff, it's piping, right? That you can do yourself. If it's coming from the boiler itself, well, you're fucked. Because they make these things so you replace them often. Although I gotta say, this one lasted pretty good. 17 years, so. One last thing before I go get dirty. This is the overpressure valve. Once your water level gets beyond this point, you can open this up to help air go inside and water drain faster. Up here, and I'll do another video, this is more like for maintenance once you're done. There's an anode, a galvanic anode. This is something that pissed me off, like anode, why is there an anode? What is this, a freaking electrolysis bath? You know, where's the cathode then? It's not really it's the anode of the galvanic corrosion that occurs between the two differing metals. You have a steel housing inside, possibly copper, and you have magnesium or aluminum, which is higher up on that the chart. I'll show it up here. So you want to put something that will make it easier to corrode, the anode. Less easy to corrode for the steel or the copper of the tank. So that needs to be replaced about every year, or at least inspected. This one was never inspected. It is fused. The big Milwaukee could not take it out. So, was it a reverse thread?
What side was that, Private Pile?
What pisses me off about this shit is that you're not allowed to do this yourself. Why? Because of morons. Don't blame the state is also, you know, nanny state at work. Because you're not allowed to. You gotta be a licensed contractor. Why? Because I'd be stupid enough to dismantle gas lines and then not check them afterwards. But hey, some idiots have and died. And their mommies went to Congress or the state capitol and the state shouldn't let you do that. And now we're all fucked. And now insurance companies, when they come up and say, oh, well, we're not going to give you insurance anymore unless you freaking do it with a plumber. And the plumber is going to want to do water softeners, water filters, all this foo-foo fancy garbage, computerized boilers. We're fucking weak as a country. That's what's wrong. Whatever. Get back to work. Oh, yeah. Fuck! The fuck is that? Oh. Hello, spider. At least I got heat. But I stink! I haven't been able to take a shower. Ugh, poisons. I'm gonna keep this sucker. I'm gonna play with it afterwards. I know my mother always told you never play with your boiler.